I am honored to have Elizabeth Warren on the line with us. ElizabethWarren.com, of course, is her website. I went off on a long rant last night on our TV show about how everybody was talking about the president's speech and how wonderful it was. But in my opinion, the most important speech of the entire DNC was that moment of brutal truth-telling when Elizabeth Warren said, yes, the game is rigged. And I'm so honored to have Elizabeth Warren running for the United States Senate for Massachusetts on the program with us. Elizabeth, welcome to the program.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
I genuinely believe that your speech was the most important speech of the DNC and that you are one of the most important people that we need in the United States Senate. And no blowing smoke or anything here. I'm just solid on this. And people need to go to ElizabethWarren.com and learn more about what you're doing. Tell us, you said the game is rigged. Can you riff on that?
Sure. Families are out there, they're breaking their necks, they work hard, and they just can't seem to catch a break. It's like everybody lives just one bad medical diagnosis, one job loss, one family breakup away from just complete financial disaster. Everybody's scrambling kind of right at that edge. And at the same time, look what's happening in Washington. Oil companies, they make $137 billion in profits last year. And the Senate blocked any effort to try to take away their subsidies. So they get billions of dollars. They're still sucking down billions of dollars in profits. The Buffett rule comes up last year. The simple ask that billionaires pay the same tax rate as their secretaries. That's all it was. And the Republicans get out there and manage to block it. The idea of extending tax cuts. Just last month, President proposes will extend tax cuts for 98% of American families. And the Republicans say, nope, if you're not going to have special breaks for the top 2%, we don't want any part of it. We're going to hold middle-class families hostage. And here's the thing. They want to claim to be the business party, the party that's pro-business. And you heard all the stuff at the convention last week, the Republican convention, all about small businesses. Those tax breaks would have covered 97% of businesses. It would have pulled in the small businesses, and yet the Republicans said, nope, if you don't have the breaks for the biggest 3%, we're not going to do this. And, there's just example after example. You could do it through regulations. You could do it through every part of this. But the real point is that Washington works now for those who can hire armies of lobbyists. It's not working for America's families. It's not working for hard-working people.
Right. And we have two tax rates now in the United States, one for people who work and one for people who make their money with money like Mitt Romney does. This is what Ronald Reagan had to say about that.
Yeah.
We're going to close the unproductive tax loopholes that have allowed some of the truly wealthy to avoid paying their fair share. In theory, some of those loopholes were understandable, but in practice, they sometimes made it possible for millionaires to pay nothing, while a bus driver was paying 10% of his salary, and that's crazy. Do you think the millionaire ought to pay more in taxes than the bus driver, or less?
There you go. Ronald Reagan, he actually equalized capital gains and regular income tax rates at 28% for 1 year during his administration. Mm-hmm. And now it's if you're a multimillionaire or a billionaire and you've figured out how to game the system, you pay a maximum 15% income tax rate like Mitt Romney does. Mm-hmm. And if you work, if you're a surgeon or a teacher or a janitor or whatever it may be, talk show host, you pay up to 36%.
But it really does. It sort of takes you back to the heart of the whole thing. The Buffett rule, made so much sense. It just said, look, don't care how you make your money. If you're in that income category, if you're really up at the top, there's got to be a minimum amount that you pay. You've got to be paying at the same rate that your secretary does.
Right.
It's kind of that straightforward. And, when I talked about it the other night, I talked about it in the sense, I thought there are so many ways you try to get this story across. I tried to tell it from the point of view of the people I meet across Massachusetts every single day. And one of the questions I ask small business owners is I say, when you make a profit, when you get out there and make a little money each year, how many years have you been able to pay zero in taxes? And they all just laugh and say, I always have to pay my taxes. Well, take a look at the Fortune 500 and look at the number of corporations there that are making hundreds of millions of dollars, and they are paying nothing or nearly nothing in taxes. I mean, it's genuinely shocking. Yeah. And really the reminder, the big corporation can hire hundreds of lawyers and lobbyists so they get the loopholes and then know how to exploit the loopholes. But, the fellow running his own small business, the woman who set up her business and she's got 30 employees, 40 employees, 50 employees, she can't hire an army of lobbyists and an army of lawyers. She can't get those tax breaks. And that's just one more way that the system is rigged. The little businesses are fighting uphill against the big businesses. And, I just want to put it this way. I'm all for success. I love success. We're Americans. We celebrate success.
There you go.
We think it's fabulous when somebody makes it big. But we don't think the game should be rigged. We think everybody ought to be playing with the same set of rules, and everybody ought to have that same kind of chance to make it big.
It is so marvelous that you're out there and you're speaking this truth and you're saying these kinds of things, and so few people are willing to. Elizabeth Warren, I wish you the very best, and thank you so much for being with us on the program today.
Oh, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
And people can check out her website at elizabethwarren.com, of course, as you may guess.